All right. So, hey everyone. So today I have a new grad from University of Irvine, and this is my first stream back in a month, and pleasure to be doing it with this guy. So, could you give a quick introduction for yourself, real quick?
Yeah, so I'm Lester. I recently just graduated from UCI with a SWE major.
Nice.
Um, just out here looking for a job, just applying, and then also just practicing and running mocks as we go. For when an opportunity comes, I'll be ready.
Yeah. How many companies have you applied for, or how's interviewing or the job market for you right now? Like applying, interviews, everything.
Um, it's I'm not getting too many callbacks. I'm in like the 500 application number,
Wow.
and I had a couple. I had two of them, like last month. One was for a what's it called? Like a construction company, and they're like trying to open up to the like sector, as they
Mm-hmm.
said. I interviewed with them. It ended up being a rejection. Um,
What'd they ask you?
they
Leak
asked
code?
me.
Or no?
It was one lead code
No way.
medium.
For a
It was a lead.
construction company, that's hilarious.
I thought it was a little crazy, but yeah, it was a random construction company. If you've heard of what's it called? Oh my god, I'm forgetting the name already.
Bro, that's just hilarious. People always like, yo, companies are not asking leak code, etc. And then people come on here like, yo, I was doing a construction or I was doing this random company and they're still asking leak code. So I think, honestly, leak code is fundamental. It's not the only thing you should be practicing, but once you get leak code down, you don't need to worry about nothing after that.
Yeah, I think it's still everywhere.
Yeah.
They asked me LCS, or longest common subsequence,
No
and I
way.
was not really good with 2D dynamic programming, so it kind of cooked me.
Yeah, I mean, I will. Even Google, like Google's pretty much the only question that would ask that question, and they don't really ask like a 2D dynamic programming questions that often. That's actually so funny.
Yeah. Oh, and but my other one, I'm just waiting to hear back. I had it last week, and it was a phone screen for Amazon.
Nice.
So that's my
Yeah.
go for practicing.
So how many leak code questions have you done?
Um, it's around like 140, up or down like 30, because some of them I just solved on neat code and I didn't transfer it over to lead code.
I see.
Yeah.
So what's sort of your breakdown across the different patterns? How are you with arrays?
Um, just to I As for how I am with different patterns, I'm pretty good with arrays, two pointers, sliding window,
Mm,
trees, um, sometimes with heaps, or I just have to recognize that it's a heap problem.
yeah.
Um, I think I put way too much focus on graphs. So like I think BFS and DFS is
Just
pretty
light work for
much,
you.
yeah. But I'm really bad at linked list and
Link.
binary search. I just can't
I
like,
see.
or it's not about like the the concept of binary search. It's like sometimes you know how you have to kind of think outside the box and find what you need to binary search.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest part. It's like, for example, like Coco eating bananas.
Yeah.
I had it's like a it's hard to figure out, like I had to take the range of the time he took to eat bananas. I forgot what the problem
Yeah.
was, but
Yeah.
it wasn't just
Because
like, oh yeah, you have to binary search this.
yes, there's like two types of binary search questions. There's one you're given an array and you literally just have to keep chopping the search space. But then there's other ones where you're searching for something, but you do it in like a binary search way. So you're searching for a specific value, and then you're like, oh, let me try this, and it's too high, so you have to try something lower. So those ones are harder to find out. Okay, I think that's good enough context. I think I'm gonna come up with some questions for you, and I'm gonna post it in.
Hmm.
Pause this quick. All right, I got my first. I got the first question in.
All right, nice. I'm ready.
Well, so we're gonna do 1 to 2 questions. We're gonna spend up till the hour, top of the hour, so we have 45 minutes to just run through some questions. So if you
Uh
get
huh.
solve this one quick, we move on to the next one. I'll give you probably around 20 minutes to solve this one.
Okay.
So I'll quickly explain it so that the viewers can understand it as well. But let me just format this. So we're gonna be given an input string S like this. We need to pretty much reverse the order of the words. A word is defined as a sequence of non-space characters. So the words in S will be separated by at least one space, like this. And we just need to return the words in reverse order concatenated by a single space. So you can see example 1, the sky is blue. Once we reverse it, we go blue is the sky. So blue is sky the. So yeah, simply just reverse all the words.
Hmm.
Or like take the sentence and reverse it.
Okay. Gotcha. So, the first thing that comes into mind. Oh, am I good to go? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good to go. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Okay. Um, just for like clarification as well. Um, will the input ever be empty?
It will never be empty.
Okay.
There'll
So there will
always be at
always
least
be
one word.
at least one word. Okay. Um, let me think if there's any more edge cases that I might have to think about. Um, the first thing that comes into mind, I wrote it down really quickly here,
Sure.
is I'm going to split the string, and that will give me an array of all of those. Split the string with a space, so that'll
Hmm.
give me an array of all the strings within there, within the S.
Yeah.
Then, um, I can do a for loop of the reversed. So like I would do a splitted string would equal S dot split. Then for that, this will give me an array of I'm gonna take example one as my example for now. So it'll look like this, and the array is gonna end up looking like so, and um splitted string is gonna look like this. Then I'm gonna have a returning variable, and I'm going to run a for loop of this splitted string going backwards, and then I'm just gonna be appending to this return, um, appending to this return, or concatenating is the better word,
Sure.
while adding a space, and then after the for loop is done, that should be the reversed, split it or reversed order of that string. So for example, just to like kind of have a little bit of pseudocode. So each word in splitted string, while it being reversed, you would get the returning a string, then you would add. Actually, I would need to do the first. I would need to add the first word first. So I would actually do splitted. I would need the first word here. And this should be in the range now. So this is me going to go through it backwards. Does the solution I propose make sense?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
making sense so far. Let's continue.
okay. Then, and this is pretty much me going in reverse index instead of the actual element now. Then I would do first I would need to add the space, then these splitted or these the word in splitted string in that index. Then after this for loop runs, this should be -2 actually. So I would stop before the last one. And this should be, I think, the answer. And
Okay.
just to kind of run through it, like before I even code it up. So going through this example. So ret on the first iteration is gonna look like, oh, I already see a problem. This should be -1.
Mm-hmm.
Ret's going to be blue. Then to add a pointer here, should be I. I is going to be -2 right now. Then it would.
I think I get it. It makes sense. Let's
Okay.
write out the code and then let's run through the code after to see
Okay.
if it all
No
works.
problem. Okay, the input's gonna be S no matter what. Okay. Um. Um. Okay. I think this should be it.
Okay, so we split the string. Okay, what's your range length of? Okay, dry run me the code.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start it over here again. So I is going to be ret when I first started. It's going to be blue because I'm taking the last index. Then the index pointer or number is going to start at is, and I'm going to be appending that with the space is. Then after I append it, it'll go back to -1, so it'll be -3. Oh, this should be 1. And I think I'm overcomplicating this. Oh wait,
What's the
sorry.
new one?
I think I have a cleaner way of doing this instead of going backwards like this. So, I'm going to start again at 0. Then I'm just going to take the reverse of the splitted string. And then I'm going to append the word.
Nice.
Then I'm going to, since when I first append that word, there's going to be a space in the beginning. I'm going to return 1, or like at starting after the space, because this will append first.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll do another dry run real quick.
Return outside of a function.
Um, should I just print the return instead?
Or if you run the code, it's not working. Or yeah, you could just print it, or you could do a return as well.
And then I could set it equal to this string. Okay. And I think
It's missing out.
wait. Blue is
Blue is guide.
blue is sky. The maybe is it printing my the twice? Oh my god. This should just be empty. Yeah.
Okay. What's your time and space complexity?
Space complexity for this is going to be O of n for the amount of words that are or the length of the string, and time complexity is also going to be O of n since it's going to be O of 2n since I have to go through the array twice, but asymptotically it's going to be O of n.
Okay, so time equals O of n. Space O of n, you said, because it has to create that.
Yeah, it has to create this splitted string array.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. I think the time complexity is actually worse than O of n.
It's
Like it
worse
might
than
be a
O of
O.
n.
It's actually O of n squared. Like, could you look into and figure out why?
O of n squared.
It has to do for the. Okay, I'll give you like a couple seconds just to look at it, and then
If
I'll
I
give a small hint.
does reversing
No, that's just O of n.
is splitting O of n squared.
Yeah. It's on line 50.
Um.
So strings are immutable in Python.
Oh, concatenating isn't O of one.
Yeah, because strings are immutable. That means you can't change it. So it will need to create a new string with the word attached to it.
Oh, I see.
Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Do you get it?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You have to create a new one, so it's gonna repeatedly. Okay.
Like if I have a string that says a bunch of this, right? And then
Yeah.
all I wanted to do is just add two to it. We'll literally need to create a new string, copy over all of these numbers or all these letters, and add two in. Because
Yeah.
we can't just, it's not like an array that you could just append to the back. So in order to create this, it's literally O of n. So every time, so this is essentially like almost an O of n operation, or worst
Yeah.
case or O of n operation here, and you're doing this loop runs O of n time, which leads to O of your time complexity is actually O of n squared.
Mhm. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Um. Now I'm thinking that means I'm thinking of trying to figure out a way um to make it because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a solution that's O of n in this case.
Yeah.
Um. So. Hmm. I'm trying to think of a way where I don't have where I can create the full word pretty much in one iteration then. Um to do this in one iteration. So currently I have um this as my splitted string. And if I do a reverse, obviously it'll be backwards. Um, would I have to? If I use a linked list, no, that would still give me the same problem. Sorry, is it if I do something like do you know if something like this is O of one or
It's
O of
gonna
n?
that's O of n. That's O of n.
Okay.
I'll give you a small hint. Also,
Mm.
or here. Let me see. Let me think of. So what operation is actually O of one adding to the end?
Um Adding to the end.
Like what data structure can we achieve O of one O of one appending to?
A list, a linked list.
A list or linked list?
Yeah. Um
Okay. Pretend we had a list of all these words.
mhm.
How would we combine that list into the final output?
Um Combine that list into That's why I'm having trouble because um because I can make a list uh um once I have it backwards, how would I all at once make it into one word? Is there a Python like um keyword for this? For
Yeah. Like how would you convert an array to a string usually in Python? Have you ever done that?
I should have, but I'm not sure like what if I
Ha-
do this,
Have you used the
if I
join operator before?
oh oh yeah.
That should
Oh
be
my
O of
god.
one. O of n. I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, so can I just do like ret is equal to splitted? Is this the negative? Wait, is this what makes it go uh reverses it?
Let's see.
Because I know there's a way to index it so that when you use it.
List object has. So hop into the AI assist and ask it how to use join. There's an
Okay.
AI assist near the program output on the top right. So I can see what you're
Oh,
saying here.
on a list. Oh,
Okay.
okay. This should be. I see. With this. All right, nice.
Blue
It did end up.
is Okay. Is there any other edge case that we need to handle? Like, take a look at the. Yeah, like, what other edge cases do we need to handle here that you may have missed?
The leading white spaces or trailing white spaces. So I would also have to do dot strip,
Okay,
dot strip,
nice.
and I'm forgetting all the string, and then um will the dot split take care of a triple space within, let's say for example, number 3? Does the dot split take care of 3 spaces, or will there be an extra
I think what yours would do is it's gonna create a. It's pretty much
an
gonna
extra
look like uh good, then like
an empty?
empty,
Okay.
something like that. It might do something like that because you're specifically splitting on single space.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Um
So I'm pretty sure your thing. Yeah, you're right. It might break. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So to deal with the dot strip will take care of any leading and trailing white spaces, and to deal with a triple space, um I'm thinking if I should iterate through the entire string again and see if I count more than one white space to change. um I see. Okay. Now I'm thinking instead of using the dot split method, I'm just going to create it myself.
Well, let's use the dot split
Dot
for
split.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, look into the API of dot split. Ask here. Let's talk this. Give me the API for dot split.
Okay. Um.
Yeah, take a read at that. So split doesn't take in regex. So somebody asked in the chat, does split take in regex? Not the default one on string, but you can import regex and split on a specific pattern. But we don't need to do that complicated. Let's just use the simple string split and just take a read at the API to figure out how
Okay.
you can do that.
So the delimiter max split to basic split using white space. Um. Consecutive white space is treated as a single. Oh, so I shouldn't. Okay, so I should just remove
Yeah.
the uh the the pretty much the single space. So any consecutive white spaces
Yeah.
won't be counted as multiple.
Yeah. Exactly. For the
Yeah.
chat, because people are asking the chat says split. what split does right here, it's pretty simple. It's like split, like it was only breaking because you specified the delimiter, but
Yeah.
by default it will split any consecutive white space. So yeah, now it works if you just remove that
Okay, nice.
and run it. Nice. All right, let's move on to this. Let's move on to the second question.
Mm. This is a good reminder to think about all of my string syntax keywords
Yeah,
for
just like
Python.
memorize those. Just get used to the public or the standard library utility functions. Will help speed
Yeah.
that up. But these are these are classic ones. You don't need to really know much more than that. All right, question two.
Okay.
So we're gonna be given the root of a binary tree, and the binary tree has unique values. Or yeah, we're gonna be given two different values and two different nodes in the tree, and we just need to you just need to tell me if these two different nodes are cousins in the binary tree. And then
Mhm.
two nodes are cousins if they have the same depth but they have different parents. And I'll let you go ahead and clarify that. I know it's probably confusing right now, but I'll clarify any questions you have.
Okay. So given the root of a binary tree with unique values and values of two different nodes of tree X and Y, return true if nodes to X and Y. So it is two different trees. And will both trees be
No, we're just we're given we're gonna be given the root of one binary tree, and then we're gonna be given two separate nodes in that
Oh,
tree,
okay.
and you just need to tell me, are these two nodes cousins in the binary tree?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So first thing that comes into mind, since we're looking at depth, um, since they don't have to have the same parents, and it's fine if they do have the same parents, they're still cousins, I assume.
If they have
Will
the
that ever
same
be?
parent,
Yeah.
if they have the same parent, they're siblings, they're brothers or sisters or whatever. So
Oh, okay.
they're
So
not cousins. It says somewhere there in the prompt.
um okay. So um there's two ways that comes into mind when solving this problem. It's gonna be running two depth first searches where um you would just take a we you would think about how far deep into the tree you're going to be going, and if they and you'll keep track of the parent as well, and if their parents are the same, or you would once you reach that node, um oh, that wouldn't work. Okay, I think we would do a BFS on this, and then um so on every iteration we'll be looking at the level, and if we find X, then we're forced to find Y in that exact same iteration for that while loop. And if they don't end up being in the same while loop, then we'll return false. And we'll also keep track of the parent. And if the parent's the same, then then
Wait, can
we
you
will
write that
also
down?
return false.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot what you said.
So it's going to be a BFS.
Sure.
Then we're going to be keeping track of two things. So once we find either X or Y, um, we'll keep a note of either one of their parents. So keep note of X's or Y's parent because we have to make sure they don't have the same parent. Then um, it's going to be some sort of Boolean found found node. And if we go on to the next level, after finding x or y, so once we go to the next level, once finding x or y, we will turn false because that means they're not on the same level and they're not cousins. But if we find both of them on the same level and they have different parents, then that's when we return true. Does this sound good to you?
So we're gonna run a breadth first search.
Mhm.
We're gonna find X or Y. Once we find that, we're gonna just store it somewhere, and then we're gonna keep going through that same level, looking for like the other one. Okay, I
Mhm.
think I think in practice it makes sense. Let's go ahead and start implementing. We could work it out after.
Okay. So okay. So while Q, then Q is going to be a deck. Q dot append root. I'll assume the root is going to be the input. Then current node will be equal to, I'll just write cur root Q dot pop left. So for all of the things in the queue, for all the elements in the queue, and this will be the parent. Um Current will be the parent for this. So if cur dot left,
Let's turn this into a function that accepts what we mentioned here, which is the root and then the X and Y.
okay. So okay. So once we're at this point, we're going to see if we find x, cur dot left is equal to x, or if cur dot right is equal to y. Or wait, this should be, sorry, this should be lefted. This should be right. Then the parent and cur is equal to parent. Um, so once we find either x or y, um, for this we'll be looking at, this is going to be the same level. Then um, okay, so once we're at this point, if cur dot left is equal to x, if cur dot right is equal to y, then we would say I'm going to have another variable called found x and found y. this should be. Then found x is equal to true. Then found y is equal to true. This should be outside of this, actually. So that on each level will be looking at this.
So the parent equals-
I feel as if I'm messing up the implementation of this.
I think it's a little. It might be a little bit overcomplicated.
Yeah, I feel as if I'm overcomplicating this. Because I just have to check if I found them here and if I found both of them, then we return true. But I have to make sure that they don't have the same parent.
Yeah, exactly.
And this isn't going to look the prettiest, I think. But I'm sure there's going to be a way cleaner way of doing this, but this is just going to be keeping track of the parents, essentially. And if they don't equal each other, then you can safely say to return true. But so now,
What if they like? What about the same level?
this should work if they're on the same level. Now I have to figure out if they're not on the same level. So if found x and not found y, or oh my god, or if found y and not found x. So this will this if statement will check if we find one of them and we end up not finding the other one. That means that they're on different levels, so they're not going to be cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And right here, if parent x is equal to parent y. Okay, so now here I check if they have the same parent. Then I would return false.
Okay.
Excuse me. But now I have to do if. This is a really big if statement. Or if tree. Okay. I'm thinking if there's. I have to figure out a way to clean this up.
Yeah. How would you clean this up?
Um. If the root node.
Yeah, there's a lot of conditions.
Yeah. Root. Okay. Hmm. um. I don't need this, but I think there has to be a way where I don't need a.
Okay.
Um.
We're have like a couple minutes left.
mhm.
So let's just stop it there. How do you think you did?
I did mediocre at best, I think. Just because of I think especially for this question, I think I didn't talk through, or I didn't write down at least what my thought process was. And I think I need to flesh out the solution a bit more before I start coding it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But at least for the first one, I think I was able to come up with a an algorithm pretty fast, but it was mainly like I didn't know about, or I didn't find the dot join solution, which does bog down points as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at this first one. I think some of my feedback is, I do like how you're clarifying the question, and the way you're brainstorming ideas. Honestly, what by the time you write the ideas, it sounded like you knew where it was going. But I think when you got started coding, a lot of the times you overcomplicated things. But I think even this solution is a bit overcomplicated. Or it made sense
Yeah.
here. Once we find, so keep notes of the x or y's once we go to next level, like return. I think this one we could probably simplify this a lot by just saying like a root. Maybe we could start with like a root at level 0, and maybe x, for example, x equals none, y equals none. So maybe remove all of this right here. Like if we just did something like if, or we'll do current equals q dot pop left current, and then the level. What we could do is if the current equals x, right? What we could do is store in x the level, and then yeah, how would we get the parent? Similar to like if we could just keep track of the parent, maybe when we're appending here. Let's see. Do you have cookies? But I think overall it could be simplified. I think the hard part is grabbing the parent. Let's see how we would do that. But I think when we're like when we see a value here, we could just append it. We could maybe just have like a parent map that maps like each node to their parent, and then
Mhm.
once we find x and y, we could maybe just store the level of x and y, and just eventually just like something small at the end, like is x level equal to y. So something like current x. We'll just store x equals level. Does that make
Oh, I
sense?
see. I see. I see. So once you find both, so you're gonna have pretty much like a hash map, and then once you find both,
And,
um,
and parent.
yeah.
And then like while we're going through this, we could just have like a parent map that kind of just maybe maps back to the parent or something like that. So it's like I think coming up with. I think yours made sense. You just kind of overcomplicated and wrote a ton of code. But I
Yeah.
think you're getting there, but just all the conditions were too much. And I would have just took a step back.
Yeah, that I definitely knew like uh, the moment I started writing more than four if statements, there is definitely a way better way or cleaner way of um solving it. Do you have any tips on like finding that intuition? Um
See, let me get back to your code. I think you were getting there. It's just any tips for finding that intuition. Did that solution kind of make sense where you like just store the parent map and then eventually see. And I think here one issue would be the default. Pretend none of these conditions ever hit. This will just return none here, but we're supposed to return like it implicitly returns a none.
mm,
So if none of these conditions ever hit, it's just gonna return none, but it's supposed to return true or false. So I'm not sure if this algorithm would work on every edge case.
um assuming that the X or the Y is in the oh, it you can guarantee that it exists in the tree.
Yeah.
This will always execute a true or a false because if I hit one of the X or the Y's and then it goes to even like a different level, it'll return a false.
Where's your
So as
found
long
X and found Y? It's not. Did we delete
oh
it?
no,
Okay, you
yeah,
see
it
it.
was over
Okay.
here.
Okay. Yeah. I think yeah, it would just be. Honestly, your coding skills is pretty good. Like you're able to come. Like it's very complicated. Like it's overcomplicated. So with just practice, you just need to drill it down and simplify it. But you said you only did 150 questions, so I think you're able to get there. It's just more you just need to like aggressively simplify it. Like if when it gets too complicated like this, you just need to take a step back and figure out how I could do this in a
Okay.
simpler manner. Honestly, it's gonna be hard to do that on the fly in an interview, but that's why you have to just practice a lot before your interviews to just make sure you can pump out clean code.
Yeah.
Because if you gave me this algorithm like this, it would be even hard for me as an interviewer to just make sure it's correct. Like it'll give me a hard. You're gonna be giving me a hard time validating your algorithm.
Yeah. And if it's hard for you to validate, I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
there's not much of a reason for you as an interview to give me a higher sign, which
and
makes sense.
anyways, like if you even run into any issues here, it's gonna be really hard for you to debug, especially on the fly. So it's
Yeah.
important to write clean, concise code. But it all just comes with practice. Um, so I think with the second question, that was my feedback for number one. I think yeah, you clarified it well. You overcomplicated it a bit because you're doing you were doing that weird thing where you're initializing the return with some value, like the zeroth element. Then you would try to start the for loop, or like the second last element instead of the first, and instead of just writing the loop to start from the last
Yeah,
element.
yeah.
So see, that's what I was saying. Like you're kind of overcomplicating it. Like that yeah, like you could just simply just have like started at the last element and went backwards.
Mhm.
Um, I think you just need to look into the utility functions just make sure you know the common ones. I think join is very common. You'll see that a lot. So make sure you understand the join function, and
Mhm.
then analyzing the runtime complexity. I think you know how to analyze the runtime complexity, but that immutable string caught you.
Yeah, that definitely. I need to remember that because I if there's ever any time a string function or like a string type problem comes up in lead code or like a lead code string problem, then they ask me that question. Then I respond to them that it's a O of one operation appending to a string that might give red flags.
Yeah. Okay, what else? Yeah. I think just making sure that you write code that captures all the edge cases at first. You weren't capturing the multiple edge cases or multiple spaces and trailing. But eventually you were able, once I prompted. And I think that's fine for new grad, but as you get more senior, you should be able to catch edge cases and address them. Like the interviewer shouldn't have to point them out, but I think for the level you're interviewing at, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. But I
Nice,
think
nice.
overall for actually yeah, like I'm kind of, the way that I give feedback is I usually only interview senior candidates at my jobs. I've never interviewed really a junior candidate, so all my feed like take it with a grain of salt because yeah, you did pretty good for the level that you're gonna be interviewing for. I would just make sure to write clean, concise code, not buggy, and capture all the edge cases. Other than that, your process was good.
Okay, nice. I think I just really yeah. When I started writing it out, I knew that low key it was yeah, not looking the best.
All
So
right, cool. Thanks for
okay,
taking the time out. I'm gonna have to hop to the
yeah,
next guy. All right,
yeah. Thanks for taking this for
no
me too.
problem. Good luck with everything, and keep in
Thank you.
touch. Okay, peace, peace.
Bye bye.